This Esau Palette gave me a quick snapshot of my 5 weeks. Week one, we talked about the reading interest survey, and I polled the kids to see, how does reading make them feel and why. And this one was really eye-opening because it gave real information on how the kids were feeling. Um, this particular student said, you know, you know, reading in English, how does it make them feel? And he said, it makes me feel mad because it's hard for me to read in English. Another student talks about because they don't like the way it makes them feel. Another one says, well, I still don't really know how to read in English very much. And there was a student who also made a comment that reading in English, he doesn't like it because people often laugh at him. So this data really gave me a quick snapshot of where the students were and how they personally felt about reading. Week one wanderings was, why do students dislike reading so much? And my response was, perhaps the inability to become successful at it makes it difficult. And just the wanderings that I continue to have, how can I help improve it? How can I change the narrative of their reading ability? And will pre-teaching the vocabulary be enough, or will it be a start? And here are my next steps. Week two, we began to work with words. Students began to look at and created word trees and found words that had the Greek and Latin root word part. The students here were super engaged. As students were working, I just kind of tallied their engagement, and certainly they were enjoying working with words. And the wanderings from week two, this week had a really big misconception for myself. Students were asked to respond in writing, and here they struggled with the subject verb agreement. They also lacked the complexity in their sentence. And so this again was a misconception and learning curve for me because it gave me additional time, or I knew that I needed to allocate additional time to help build their confidence in reading. And this also gave me an opportunity to research additional articles on strategies for ELL students pertaining to writing. Week three, we because of where students fell in week two with their struggles with writing, I wanted to go back and look at some more of their entry data. And here it kind of showed me where students were, where students came from. Most of my students were from those Spanish speaking countries. And this weekly wandering again allowed me to look more closely at the student entry data. And according to the student entry data, most of the students entered in around, they were either in the first or second grade. And so with that, I knew because they came into the country at that age, most of them had not quite developed their L1 or their first language. So they need additional support in learning both languages simultaneously. And then week three, we continued to look at data. The students began to play a matching game where the students were able to match the visual image of the Greek and Latin root word parts along with the definition and the word part. In week three, the students continued to put words on our trees. They began to work with a reading activity, and the students also continued to match. So that was our quick snapshot of our week, of our 5 weeks.